Hello and welcome. If you're interested in understanding the impact of failure modes on your maintenance and reliability teams, you're in the right place. I'm Ryan Chan, CEO and founder of UpKeep, and today we're going to delve deep into the concept of failure consequences. We'll be discussing its relevance in reliability-centered maintenance, and I'll guide you on how to categorize failure effects into different types. So stay tuned as we unpack this vital aspect of maintenance and reliability. Now let's dive right in. Welcome to another episode in our UpKeep video series where we provide you with the tools and resources to help your maintenance and reliability teams be more successful. Today, we're diving into the world of failure consequences in maintenance. So what exactly are failure consequences? Well, this term refers to the impact of a certain failure mode. It's a concept primarily used in evaluating assets when using reliability-centered maintenance, or RCM for short. RCM is a maintenance strategy that takes into account the effects of failures on the plant and its stakeholders. It requires rigorous analysis on the causes of failure, and it goes a step further to examine the repercussions of identified failure events. The goal of RCM is to manage the consequences of these failure events by avoiding or reducing their effects. Now, with the additional analysis required to perform RCM, there's a need to qualify and classify failure effects into different types. The Society of Automotive Engineers, through SAE-JA 1011, formally categorizes possible consequences of failure modes. Breaking down the points from SAE-JA 1011, we can categorize failure consequences according to how they impact the organization's objectives. There are four main categories: hidden, safety, or environmental, operational, and non-operational. Let's start with hidden failure consequences. These are consequences from failures that are not evident to the workers in charge or even their respective teams. Because these failures are hidden and basically unknown to the team, the consequences could be safety, environmental, operational, or non-operational in nature. Most of these failures are due to protective devices that don't work as intended. It's crucial to identify and consider risks associated with installed protective devices that are not fail-safe under certain conditions. Next up, we have safety and environmental failure consequences. These are failure events that affect the safety of the organization's workers or any of the stakeholders. Adverse failure events that endanger the environment also fall into this category. Think catastrophic incidents that might result in physical injuries or the degradation of protected landforms. The last two categories, operational and non-operational, only have economic consequences to the organization. Operational failure consequences directly impact the production of the plant. Examples are failure events that negatively affect the plant's production output, raw material security, product quality, and production capacity. These types of consequences could incur monetary losses to the organization as a result of reduced production capability. Non-operational consequences, on the other hand, are caused by failure events that might not directly affect the plant's production, but still impact the organization's expenses. These consequences usually come in the form of costs from the repair and replacement of equipment, especially when these costs outweigh the value of any incurred production losses. Now, with these multiple types of failure consequences and the overlapping characteristics of the categories, deciding on the most appropriate type can be a challenging task. But remember, the purpose of this exercise is to identify a category that would help the evaluation of performing RCM. The goal is to choose the type that would best describe the consequence of failure, to guide the strategies around how to carry out RCM activities. Here's a quick guide to help you identify which failure consequence is most appropriate. First, determine whether any failure event is associated with hidden causes, like a protective device. If yes, consider using the hidden failure consequence. Next, assess whether workers or stakeholders are exposed to physical or psychological danger. Or check if the failure event will cause environmental damages or violate environmental laws. For any of these, consider using the safety or environmental failure consequence. If the failure event is still uncategorized at this point, evaluate its economic impact to the company, with particular detail on the source of the incurred costs. If the majority of the costs are due to losses in operations or production, categorize the consequence as operational. For costs primarily due to repairs or any other cause, categorize the failure consequence as non-operational. And there you have it, a comprehensive look at the types of failure consequences in maintenance. By understanding these categories, you can better manage the impact of failure events and effectively carry out your RCM activities. Thank you for joining us today. We've discussed the impact of failure modes on maintenance, the importance of RCM, and how to categorize failure effects. If you found this information useful, please subscribe to our channel for more insights. To learn more about our tools and resources, visit us at upkeep.com. We look forward to helping you and your teams be more successful.